Thank you. Tell us your name, please.
My name's Amanda Lewis.
How old are you, Miss Lewis?
I'm now 29. 28, I'm sorry.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Have you been able to sleep?
No, sir.
Have you been able to eat?
No, sir.
You heard the statement that was played here today, the statement that you gave the police the day that this happened. Did you tell them the truth that day?
Yes, sir.
When you looked out and you saw AJ standing in that wagon, was there any water coming over the pool at that time?
No, sir, there wasn't.
Did AJ get wet at all?
No, sir.
Did he have to change his clothes?
No, sir.
When the police got there, was he wet?
No, sir.
When you got out there to your daughter, how were you able to get her out of the pool? Were you able to do what Alan Carnley's doing in this photo or something similar to that?
I had to stand beside the pool and lean toward her.
Did the pool collapse when you leaned against it?
No, sir.
You see Alan Carnley up there. Was that sort of what you were doing, reaching into the pool?
Yes, sir.
And how were you able to grab onto Adrianna?
I was able to reach far enough to grab her foot.
And how did you get her over the side of the pool?
I pulled her to me and rolled her over and got her out.
Okay. Again, did the pool collapse when you did that?
No, sir.
And then what did you do once you got her out?
I got her out and put her on the ground and tried to give her CPR.
You said in your statement you're not very good at CPR.
I took the class in my CNA certification, but I've never had to do it.
Okay. So you took a class, but you never actually had to do it in real life.
No, sir.
Were you able to get water out of her?
There was water coming out, yes, sir.
Were you ever able to get any response from her?
No, sir.
Okay. Now you heard in your statement that you were talking to Alan Carnley about the time this happened.
Yes, sir.
Is what you said in the statement accurate as far as what happened?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you could say different than that was the way that it happened?
No, sir.
Now we've heard testimony that maybe you're a strict mother. Do you think you're a strict mother?
I just tried to make them mine.
Okay. And we've heard that Adrianna was headstrong. Was she headstrong?
Yes, sir.
Did you have to take her to a doctor? You mentioned in your statement you had to take her to a doctor.
Yes, sir. The last phone call that I got from the school, she had gotten in a fight, the little girl. And I had called to Laurel Oaks in Dothan and took her there.
What is Laurel Oaks?
It's a behavioral center.
And how long did she stay there?
6 days.
Did she also have difficulties with AJ?
Somewhat, yes, sir.
Did she ever exhibit any violence towards him?
There was one incident where Alan and I had stepped outside, and when we come back in, she had a knife pulled on Andrew.
She was threatening her brother with a knife?
Yes, sir.
How would you deal with a situation like that?
I didn't know how to deal with it.
Okay. And you sought professional help for that?
Yes, sir.
Now, other than staying at the hospital, did they teach you how to cope with behavioral problems? Was that part of the treatment up there? And did you have to go up there and learn how to deal with your daughter?
I didn't there. When she started seeing Dr. Handel, he referred us to a gentleman that came out to that clinic at his office, and we had started learning how to cope with it.
Okay. Did things get better because of that?
Yes, sir, they did.
Did she improve in school?
She did start getting better.
Okay. And you heard her teacher, or the last teacher that she had came in and described her. From your vantage point, was your daughter behaving better and doing better in school?
Yes, sir.
Had she quit threatening the other kids?
After that last incident, I did not get another phone call.
Okay. But she still did wet her pants from time to time, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
And was that frustrating to deal with that?
Somewhat, yes, sir. But I had the same problem when I was little.
Oh, you did? Well, how did you deal with it with Adrianna? I mean, you just lose your cool and hit her or slap her? How would you deal with a situation where she wet her pants?
On incidents when she would wet her pants, I would take her in the bathroom and change her clothes and make her sit on the potty prior to putting her clean clothes on.
Okay, now the summer when you got the pool, was she still wetting her pants even during the summer?
Yes, sir, but it wasn't as frequent.
Okay, so she was improving in that regard?
Yes, sir.
And were you trying to teach her to swim?
We were trying to teach her to swim, yes, sir.
How far or how advanced along was she in terms of trying to learn how to swim?
She really wasn't that advanced. She had learned how to paddle.
But how about holding her head underwater?
She did not like her head underwater.
Okay. Did you try to, as part of teaching her to swim, did you try to get her to put her face in the water?
No, sir.
You didn't get that far with her?
No, sir.
How about AJ? Could he put his head under the water?
He would go underwater.
Could he swim underwater?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we've heard that maybe a short period of time before this incident happened that you took away some toys from the kids.
Yes, sir.
What happened there? Why did you take their toys away?
I had on numerous occasions a week prior to taking the toys to try to get them to clean the room, and they wouldn't, so I took their toys.
Okay, did you throw them away?
What was broken, I did throw in the trash, and what was not broken, I took to the mission in Graceville.
Okay, so you gave the toys away.
Yes, sir.
And why didn't you just beat them? You know, they won't pick up their toys. That's certainly a form of discipline. Why didn't you just beat them for not picking up their toys?
I didn't think it was enough to whip them. I just took the toys.
Okay. Now, did Adrianna still have toys there at the house?
Yes, sir, she did.
Where were they?
They were up under the bunk beds.
What kind of toys did she have?
She had 3 house-like things that come with her pet shop.
Okay. Any other toys there at the house?
She did have 1 baby doll.
Okay. Now, had you and Alan bought the kids a lot of toys while you've been living there together?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. So at one time they had a lot of toys?
They did, yes, sir.
We also heard testimony from some co-workers up there at the Bonifay Nursing Home?
They would have been from Graceville.
At the Graceville Nursing Home. Said one day you were just beside yourself
Yes,
when you
sir.
came in. What happened that day?
Actually, it was the afternoon before. We were going to Dothan, and we were going to go by my dad's house. And prior to Alan getting home, they were putting their stuff in the car to get ready to go, and I had a black permanent marker in the console of my car, and she got that marker, and all through my car, she wrote with permanent marker.
Just wrote all over the inside of the car?
Yes, sir.
That made you mad?
It did, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you lose your cool and beat her for doing that?
I didn't beat her, but yes, I did spank her.
Spanked her? And you told your co-workers about you were upset about that?
Yes, sir.
And you said, I could kill him. That's what they said.
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you say that? Did you mean it?
Not in that form, no, sir.
Miss Lewis, did you drown Adrianna?
No, I didn't.
Did you have any reason that day to be mad at her?
Sir.
Had she done anything that day that would have made you as mad as you were that day when she'd written all over your car?
No, sir.
You said it was a good day in your statement. You remember that?
It was.
Were y'all looking forward to going shopping?
Yes, sir.
Were you looking forward to school starting back?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have. That's
You need a tissue, ma'am? Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you don't understand my questions, just ask me to repeat them or rephrase them so you do understand them, okay? Not trick questions, and I'm not going to use any fancy lawyer words, all right?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you ever tell anyone that you didn't love your daughter?
No, I never told anybody I did not love her.
Did you ever tell anyone that you knew you didn't love her like you should?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that you didn't feel like you had bonded with her?
Yes, sir.
And as I understand it, this instant that you were just discussing with your lawyer, this is about the magic markers. What did she actually do now? What did Adrianna do?
She took the permanent marker out of the console of my car and wrote on the inside of my car.
Now, this was one evening when y'all were getting ready to go to Dothan. One afternoon when y'all were getting ready to go to Dothan.
Yes, sir.
What'd she write?
She wrote the word loser in my car.
And you switched her tail, or you spanked her, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then the next morning when you went into the nursing home, you were still irate about this, weren't you?
Well, yes, sir. It was still inside my car.
Okay. I mean, you had what, 12 or more hours to calm down about it, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you discipline her for doing
I
this?
spanked her.
Okay. Put her to bed?
No, sir.
Went on to Dothan?
Yes, sir, I did.
When you came back, put her to bed in her bedroom?
Yes, by that time it was late at night and we did go to bed.
Okay. Now, was that in May of last year, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Toward the end of school term?
Yes, sir.
In that bedroom where she didn't have a light in the bedroom, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in fact, Adrianna got a lot of spankings, didn't she?
No, sir, she didn't.
Well, did she stay in trouble a lot back then, ma'am?
She did get in trouble, yes, sir.
She got a spanking for trying to put a bulb in that light one time, didn't she?
She did, yes, sir.
Okay. And you used to discipline her by grounding her in her room, right?
Yes, sir.
And that room, you will agree, didn't smell very good, did it, ma'am?
No, sir, it didn't.
It smelled like it reeked of urine, didn't it?
She wet the bed constantly.
It reeked of urine, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that you went to work one time and told your workers that Adrianna busted up a TV and you just closed the door and let her have at it?
I told them she broke the TV. I did not say she busted it.
And you just closed the door and didn't get upset?
Well, all she did was jam a tape in the TV.
Okay. So you didn't tell them that she busted the TV?
No, I did not.
Was that the TV that was up there in the closet?
Yes, sir.
And that wasn't working, right?
I couldn't get the tape out, so yes, sir, it didn't work.
Now, isn't it true, getting back to this incident about the magic marker, the black magic marker, that happened one afternoon, and then you went on up to Dothan, you went home that night, you went to bed, you got up the next morning, take the children to school with you when you were going to work, and that's the situation these nurses were talking about when they were testifying about that earlier today, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, and you will agree, ma'am, even when you got into work that morning, you were irate, you were frustrated, and little Adrianna, she was still upset, right?
I was frustrated, but I was not irate.
Adrianna was still upset, wasn't she? She was crying, wasn't she?
That morning, no, she was not.
So those other people were mistaken then, is that what you're telling us?
Yes, sir.
Right. But it is true, when you got there that morning at the nursing center, in front of your daughter and son, AJ, you started spouting off, I could kill her. I've had it with her, I could kill her, didn't you?
I was not that loud, but yes, sir.
Well, I wasn't there. Would you demonstrate to the jury how you said it that day, ma'am?
The two nurses were sitting right in front of me on the other side of the nurses' counter, and I told them across the counter.
Okay. Would you tell us as best you can remember what you said that morning?
I told them that I could have killed her for riding in my car.
In that calm voice.
Well, not that calm, but yes, sir.
Well, if you could, and I realize it's been almost a year ago in May, but if you would, I'd like for you to do it as best as you did that morning, okay? Using the words that you best remember that you said.
I could have killed her for riding in my car.
And it was that way. I could have killed her.
Yes, sir.
And you said that in front of Adrianna.
She was on the other side of the counter, yes, sir.
Now, did I understand you to say that Al and Michael played with AJ in your statement that morning?
Yes, sir.
How tall was AJ?
I'm not quite sure. Him and Adrianna were about the same height.
Adrianna was 47 inches tall, right?
That would have put him about 45.
Now, AJ didn't fall over in that pool when he was in there trying to rake and get his sister out of there, did he?
No, sir.
And did you say didn't any water come out when AJ was trying to do that?
He was not wet, no, sir.
And in fact, no water came out when you tried to rake over there at her, did it?
Yes, sir. The front of my clothes were wet.
Well, where were you raking trying to get her out at, ma'am?
On the opposite side that the wagon was on.
Did the pool collapse when you were raking in there after her?
It went in, yes, sir.
And it just collapsed?
It did not collapse.
So when you got off of it, then the water quit coming out. Is that what you're
Yes,
telling
sir.
us?
Free Movie Channel has something for everyone. With no subscription or rental fees, Free Movie Channel is the quick and easy choice for first-run films as well as classic movies. Check out Free Movie Channel today and find your new favorite movie.
How many times did you go out that day prior to when you went out to pull your daughter out of the pool when she was face down?
One time.
One time.
Yes, sir.
Now, you sure about that?
Yes,
You got
sir.
a copy of your statement there, ma'am?
Not right here in front of me, I don't.
We don't have one. Isn't it true that in this statement that you gave to the police officers the night that your daughter was pronounced dead, that you said that you went out to ask AJ where his sister was, where Adrianna was?
Yes, sir, I did say that.
Okay.
I stepped to the front door. I did not go outside.
And according to you, what happened at that point?
He told me that she was at the pool raking bugs, playing around the pool,
Now, AJ was where?
in the trees at the side of the property.
Now, let me see if I understand this. That would have been the trees over on the left side of the trailer if we're looking at the trailer. Is that where
Yes,
you're saying
sir.
he was? Okay. So you would have had to holler at AJ. Is that correct?
I did not have to yell, no, sir. He seen me come out the door.
Okay. And what did he do?
He just looked at me.
Were you on the phone at that time?
No, sir.
And so you go out the front door and stand on the porch and say, AJ, where's your sister? And AJ said what, ma'am?
She was around at the pool, playing around the pool.
Okay. And what did you do at that point?
I told him to go around and tell her to come inside.
Did he say she's cleaning the pool? Cleaning bugs out of the pool?
I don't recollect, but I believe so.
Would you look at page 3, ma'am? Right beneath the middle of the page there, when Sergeant Rayleigh asked you the question, okay, you said that AJ said she was cleaning the bugs out of the pool, and your response was?
She was trying to get bugs out of the pool so we could go swimming.
All right. Now let me see if I understand this correctly. Adrianna was afraid of the water, right?
She was afraid of going under the water.
Adrianna didn't know how to swim, did she?
Not very well, no, sir.
Adrianna never went swimming even with you and Alan in that pool the entire time you had it, did she?
Yes, she did.
So Alan was mistaken when he came in here. Is that what you're saying?
No, sir, he was not in the pool, but maybe 1 or 2 times with her. It was mostly myself and my son.
Now, you've had an opportunity. You heard him testify
Yes, sir.
today and earlier this week, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear him testify that I have never seen her in that pool?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. So are you telling us that he was mistaken, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Well, isn't it true that Adrianna did not know how to swim?
Not very well. Yes, sir.
Well, not very well. When did she learn how to swim?
She could paddle her arms and legs just enough to keep her face above the water.
Okay, she could?
Yes, sir. But not enough that I would let her go out by herself.
Did you have any rules when you got this pool?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am? I mean, everybody has rules when you get a swimming pool like that when you have young children, right?
Yes, sir.
For instance, take the ladder away to keep them out of the pool unless y'all are out there with them, right?
Yes, sir.
Stay away from the pool unless an adult is out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't play in the pool or around the pool unless an adult is out there, right?
Yes, sir.
But that day, August the 8th of 2007, when you went out on the front porch, not talking on the phone, and AJ said his sister was over around the pool, she was trying to get the bugs out of the pool, that didn't cause you any concern whatsoever, did it?
Yes, sir.
And that's the reason you ran right then to make sure that Adrianna was not around that pool, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
I went from the front door and grabbed my phone and went to the sliding glass door to see what she was doing. Yes, sir.
So you were not on your phone talking to your boyfriend when you went to the door?
When I went to the sliding glass door, yes, sir.
No, I'm talking about when you went out that front door to talk to AJ over there by the trees.
No, sir, I was not on the phone.
And that is when AJ told you his sister was over there by the pool,
Yes, sir.
getting bugs out of the pool,
Yes, sir.
according to your story, right?
Yes, sir.
So instead of immediately running out there to your daughter, you pick up the phone and call your boyfriend. Am I getting the story right now?
Yes, sir.
Even though you know your daughter can't swim and she's not supposed to be around the pool.
Yes, sir.
I'll find you. Oh, there you are. Ha! Challenge accepted. Burger dragon? Banana dragon? There are dragons everywhere. Download Dragon City and start your search today.
Whoever you are, you have a style. And we want to help you own it. Because anyone can sell you clothes. We've got the brands, the value, and the inspiration you need so you can own your style.
So AJ did not come inside and talk to you like Mr. Carnley told us earlier in this trial while you were on the phone talking to him.
No, sir. What Mr. Carnley heard him saying was from the pool area. He was not in the house.
and you had not been on the phone for several minutes, or at least a few minutes, before you go outside and talk to AJ?
I was not on the phone when I went to the front door, no, sir.
You know, I'm a little tired, and I'm sure you are too. But if I understand what you've told me, ma'am, when you walked to that front door that day, when you walked to the front door, and we were talking, yeah, I don't want to use that. I think I have a photograph of the front of the trailer. Now I'm using this diagram right here. Are you talking about AJ was somewhere over here?
Yes,
playing in the
sir.
streets? And then you went out,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you went out this front door here and stood on the porch, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said, AJ, where's your sister? Right?
Yes, sir.
And he said, she's over there by the pool, getting the bugs out, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you went inside and got on the phone and called your boyfriend and looked out the window to the pool, right?
Yes, sir.
So your boyfriend couldn't have heard AJ talking because you were inside when he was running over there to the pool. You didn't even have your boyfriend on the phone when you went out there on the porch, did you?
No, sir.
You didn't get him on the phone until you went back in, right?
Yes, sir.
And AJ didn't come back in. You saw him out there pawing or raking over there at something in the pool, and that's when you ran out the front door.
Yes, sir.
So, were you mistaken just a few moments earlier when you said your boyfriend heard AJ talk on the phone? Or was he mistaken, or what is it, ma'am? Or are you just confused?
Neither one. I said he heard Andrew talking to me from the pool, not from the front.
So, you're inside the house. Andrew's 60-something feet away over there at the pool, standing in the wagon trying to get his sister out of the pool. And the door's shut on the back door, and your boyfriend could hear little AJ screaming from way over there?
No, sir. I had opened the door.
You had opened which door?
The sliding glass door in the back of the house.
And that's what your boyfriend was hearing, was AJ screaming from way over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But he couldn't hear you screaming at AJ, could he?
He should have been, yes, sir.
He being your
Mr. Carnley.
your boyfriend couldn't hear you hollering at AJ or for Amanda, could he?
He should have been able to, yes, sir.
But he didn't, did he?
Apparently not.
That's because you weren't screaming at AJ. And AJ wasn't out there. It didn't happen that way, did it, ma'am?
Yes, it
You're
did.
having a little problem keeping your story straight, aren't you?
No, I don't.
Is it your testimony today that little Adrianna was wanting to learn how to swim
Yes, sir.
and that she was not afraid of the water?
No, I did not say that.
Well, you said she was afraid to put her head under the water. Are you telling us now she was afraid of the water?
Of putting her head under the water, not of the water itself.
So when y'all went up to your sister-in-law's pool, Penny Martin, and Amber saw all of this going on, and you were trying to force Adrianna out there in the water and threatening to dunk her, she was mistaken too, I suppose. Is that right?
What she seen was me trying to teach her how to swim. And I told her that if she wouldn't relax, that I might drop her. I did not say that I would dunk her.
So Amber has it wrong too. Amber's mistaken too.
Apparently so, yes, sir.
You didn't give Adrianna her medication that morning, did you?
No, sir, I
You
didn't.
didn't fix her breakfast either that morning, did you?
She did not want anything because she had been sick on her stomach.
Or AJ?
Yes, sir.
You didn't
No,
fix-
I did not give him anything. He didn't want anything. They were watching cartoons.
And at lunchtime there, neither one of them ate. So if she was throwing up anything, that would have been way from what she ate the night before, right?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that these children didn't put those balls or wings, that Spider-Man ball or those wings in there? You left those wings in the pool, didn't you, ma'am? That's where you got in the habit of leaving those items in the pool, didn't you?
They were left in there from the last time we swam, yes, sir.
Now, did I understand you to say that Alan and, well, all of you had been in that pool at one time before?
Alan had gotten in there about twice with all of us.
So then he was mistaken also when he said he had never seen Adrianna in that pool or had never been in there with her.
Apparently, he just didn't remember.
How long did it take you to call 911 after you found your little girl face down in that pool that afternoon?
When I got her out of the pool and put her on the ground, I picked the phone back up because I still had Alan on. And I told him what had happened, and he told me to call 911 then.
In fact, Alan had to tell you to pull her out of the pool, didn't he?
He said to get her out of the pool, yes, sir, as I was pulling her out of the pool.
Did Adrianna like to read?
Yes, she did.
I've looked at those photographs. I didn't see any books in the room.
She didn't have any books at home.
You didn't throw those away, did you?
She didn't have but maybe two, and they were torn.
So you threw those away?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Smith?
I don't have anything else, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, you may step down.
Next witness is scheduled to be here.
Okay, let me.
It's me, AJ Hutto.
Okay. Okay, AJ, if you'll come right over here and just have a seat in that chair right over there, okay?
We get Ms. Lamette to come up and sit next.
That'll be fine.
Can you sit in this chair right here, AJ? All right. Pull that up. All right. Now this is a microphone right here. All right. Good morning, AJ.
Good morning,
Would you tell us your name?
Andrew Hutto.
Do your friends call you AJ?
No,
Do you have a middle name? What is that?
Jordan.
Jordan? Sometimes do you let me call you AJ?
Yep.
Okay. How old are you?
7.
Did you have a birthday a few months ago?
Yes, so.
When was that?
November 22nd.
And you were 7?
Yes, so.
What school do you go to?
Graceville Elementary.
And what grade are you in, AJ?
1st grade.
First grade. Do you have a best friend in the first grade?
Yes.
What is his name?
Zachary.
And you already know your colors, is that right?
Yes, so.
Would you tell these people what your favorite color is in the whole wide world?
Green.
Green. Now, do you know the difference between a truth and a lie or a story?
No, so.
Can you tell this jury what a truth is?
Yes, so.
All right. For instance, if I told you I had on a green shirt, I got on a green shirt.
No, so.
What color shirt do I have on?
White.
Would that be the truth or a lie if I said I had a green shirt on?
A lie.
Now, if I said, AJ, you've got a white shirt on, would that be the truth? All right. Now, what happens to people or little boys that don't tell the truth?
They get a spanking and they get grounded.
Okay. Today, can you tell us the truth if I ask you some questions?
Yes, so.
Do you understand that's the most important thing?
Yes,
Is to
so.
tell the truth.
Yes, so.
Judge, those are my questions to
If I could see counsel at the picture, just a second.
Right there, just a moment.
AJ, Mr. Smith, this gentleman standing right over here, has a couple of questions he wants to ask you, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Smith.
AJ, Mr. Bassford asked you if you could tell us the difference between the truth and a lie, and you said no, sir. Is that what your answer was?
Yes, so.
Can you tell me what a lie is?
It's not the truth.
Can you tell me what the truth is?
It's not a lie.
If I told you your mother was in the courtroom here today, would that be the truth?
No, so.
That would not be the truth. Why is that? Because she's not in the courtroom?
No, so.
Okay. So your mother is not in this courtroom?
No, so.
Okay. And you're telling me that that is the truth, that your mother is not in the courtroom?
Yes, so.
Okay. Where is your mother?
Jail.
She's in jail. You don't see her in this courtroom, do you?
No, so.
Because she can't be here. She's in jail, isn't she?
Yes, so.
It would be impossible for her to be here in the courtroom, wouldn't it?
Yes, so.
Thank you, AJ.
And Mr. Bassford?
Yeah. AJ?
Yes, so.
When is the last time that you saw your mother? Do you remember?
No, so.
Has it been a long time?
Yes, so.
Who do you live with now?
My Aunt Carla.
Aunt Carla?
Yes, so.
And does she have a husband?
Yes, so.
Who is that?
Richard.
Okay. Is Aunt Carla in the courtroom?
Yes, so.
Where is she sitting? Would you point her out for the jury? Okay. What color top does she have on?
Brown.
Okay. Is that her sitting right there on the second row?
Yes, so.
Okay. Now, AJ, have you met this man before right here? Mr. Brandon?
Yes, so.
All right. How about this man? Have you ever met him before? The one that was asking you questions, Mr. Walter?
No, so.
Okay. How about Miss Kim right there? Have you ever seen her before?
No, sir.
All right. That woman sitting right there between them. Have you ever seen her before?
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
My mother.
Now you recognize your mother?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, look at me, AJ. This time we're ready to proceed, Judge.
You may proceed.
And I still object to this witness's confidence.
And your objections noted for the record. Previous order of the court is still in place.
AJ? AJ,
Yes, sir.
give me your hand. All right. Here. Here. AJ, do you see these people sitting over here?
Yes, sir.
I met these people yesterday for the first time. And I told them today that Adrianna was dead. Is she dead? Gonna have to answer so they can hear.
Yes, sir.
They want to know how Adrianna died.
Yes, sir.
Now, I wasn't there, AJ, was I?
No, sir.
Were you there when she died?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell them how she died?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I want you to think back to the day that she died, okay?
Okay.
Who was at home that day?
Alan Michael.
Island Michael? Who else?
My mother.
Okay. And where were you? Where was everyone? Do it this way. Do you remember when you got up that day? Do you remember what happened? Would you just tell me what happened? If you tell me, they can hear.
Yes, sir.
All right. That day when you got up, what did you do?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you watch any cartoons?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did you sleep that night? Did you sleep in your bedroom or did you sleep somewhere else?
I slept in the living room.
And what did you sleep on? Was there a special bed that you slept on that day?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
That's a bed.
Just a bed, like a camping bed?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Adrianna, where did she sleep?
She slept in the bedroom.
Okay. Did your mom come home from work that day? That morning?
Yes, sir.
What were you doing when she came home from work?
I was still sleeping.
Okay. Did there come a time that you watched some TV that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did Adrianna do that day?
Nothing.
Did she do anything to get in trouble that day?
Yes, sir.
What did she do, AJ?
Spray some spray on the windows.
Oh, yeah? Why was she doing that?
I don't know.
Was she spraying any other spray that day?
Yes, sir.
How did it smell?
Awful.
Awful? Okay. Where was your mom? Where was your mama when she was doing that?
She was in bed.
Okay. Did she wake up?
Yes, sir.
All right. What happened to Adrianna when your mother woke up?
She got grounded.
All right. Can you tell us how that happened?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us about that.
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
No, sir.
Were you inside or were you outside?
Inside.
Did you go outside that day?
No, sir.
Now, at some point, did you and Adrianna go outside to play that day?
Yes, sir.
What were y'all playing?
Tractors.
Tractors?
Yes, sir.
Where were you playing with those tractors, AJ?
I can't remember.
All right. How is it that Adrianna got drowned that day, AJ? Can you tell me?
No, sir.
All right. Let me ask you some other questions then. Did you see any men that day working around your house?
Yes, sir.
What were they working on?
Trees.
Okay. Cutting trees?
Yes, sir.
Where were they doing that?
At my house.
Okay. If I showed you some photographs, some pictures, could you tell us where they were cutting those pictures? I mean, where they were working and cutting those trees?
Yes, sir.
All right. Judge, could we turn this camera on, please? AJ, I want you to come over here. We're going to put some photographs up here, okay?
Okay.
Come on over here. Right. Up right here. I think you're going to have to kneel down right there. Kneel down. And pencil. Okay. This is what we're going to do. This is it. See that camera up there? All right. We're going to put the picture right here. All right? If we could blow that up, please. You see how it gets on the screen over there so people can see it? All right. Now then, AJ, do you recognize this picture? And we will identify these A1A. Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is this the road that goes in front of your house?
Yes, sir.
Where were those people working that day? Would you point with your finger where they were working that day? Okay. So they were cutting these trees down right there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you've got a red wagon, don't you, AJ?
Yes, sir.
Where was your red wagon that day?
In there.
Over there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is that close to like a four-wheel trail or something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, your wagon's not in that picture. What happened to your wagon?
My mama just pulled it all the way over to the pool.
Over to the pool?
Yes, sir.
I want to show you this photograph here, 1B. Let's just move that one out of the way. 1B. Now, whose red wagon is that?
Mine.
And there's a bicycle. Whose bicycle is that?
Mine.
Okay. This pool, whose pool is that?
Ours.
Alan? Alan Carnley?
Yes, sir.
Who is he?
My Aunt Carla's boyfriend.
Okay. Aunt Carla's boyfriend.
No, my mama's boyfriend.
Okay. All right. So, did y'all live with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I was just checking. Now then, how did that wagon get there?
My mama pulled it all the way from there.
Yeah. From this picture, she pulled it from there.
She pulled it from there all the way back to
Okay.
here.
All right. Now, let's see. That's just another photograph of your wagon there. Now, where were you when your sister got drowned that day? Let me see. First of all, what is this right here? Are these tractors that you were talking about playing with? Can you just put them right there? Are those your tractors?
Yes, sir.
That one, and is that one too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And whose fire truck is that? Whose is it?
Mine.
Okay, all right. And AJ, what is that?
A gun.
Gun that day?
Yes, sir.
Where were you playing, AJ? When your mother pulled that wagon up there, what were you doing? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Tell us what you were doing. Did you draw a photograph? Did you draw a picture?
Yes, sir.
AJ?
Yes, sir.
Here I am, over here. All right. Now, first of all, do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
Who made this?
I did.
Okay. Now I see some writing on here. Did you write that on here?
Yes.
Where did you make this? Do you remember where you made this? Were you visiting Miss Lynette one day when you made this drawing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Will this drawing help you to explain to the jury what happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember what day you drew this?
No, sir.
Okay. When you drew this, did this help you explain what happened? Help you tell the story of what happened?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now look, AJ, this yellow one has some writing on it. Is that your writing, that little small writing?
No, sir.
All right, but the big writing is yours. If we use this diagram right here that just has your writing on it, did you do all of this and do all of this drawing?
Yes, sir.
All right. With that, Judge, we move this as State's Exhibit 2B.
Over the defendant's objection, I will submit it as State's Exhibit 2B.
It's already marked, if you would just hold those for me, Mr. Taylor. Request permission to publish to the jury. All right, AJ. Now, tell me, AJ, what is this right here?
My pool.
Your pool?
Yes, sir.
The one that was in this picture that we just saw a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir.
All right. And who is this right here?
Me.
What are you doing, AJ?
I'm just playing.
All right. Were you playing with anything?
Yes, sir.
What were you playing with?
That.
Okay. What's that supposed to be?
I can't remember.
Okay. You can't remember?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is this right here?
A tree.
Were you playing in the tree or around a tree?
In the tree.
In the tree. Okay.
So,
Now, what is this right here? Who is this, or what is this?
my mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
How is she doing that, AJ?
Putting her hand over her face.
Would you show me how she put her hand over your
No,
sister's
sir.
face? Huh?
No, sir.
You don't want to do that?
No, sir.
Okay. Who is this?
My mother.
And who is this?
My sister.
What is this right here?
My mother's arm.
Your mother's arm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does this mean right here? She did.
Died.
What?
She died.
She died. Okay. You mean your sister died? Okay. What this too bad? What does that mean?
That means it's scary.
It was scary. When this was happening, could you see it?
No, sir.
Was that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Where were you? Give the pad, please. AJ,
So,
if I drew a diagram right here, okay? If this is your trailer, this is the lift, and this is the tree out front, the pool would be where? Over here?
yes, so,
And the shed, what did y'all keep in the shed?
volleyballs.
Okay, balls? Would that be back over here?
Yes, so,
All right. Now, and if this is the road that was out in front of the house, where were you when you saw your sister die, or when your sister died? Where were you? You were here in this tree?
yes, so.
Did you stay in the tree, or did you move anywhere?
I moved.
Where did you move to? Right here?
Yes, so,
At the corner here?
yes, so.
Where was your sister when you were there? Where was your mama when you were there? Right there? Is that when she did this? Is that the reason you're drawing this?
Yes, so.
All right. Now, AJ, were you ever playing in any trees over here that day on that side of the house?
Yes, so.
Okay. When were you playing there?
I can't remember.
Okay. All right. That day, did you ever go over and see your sister in the pool?
Yes, so.
Tell me about that. When did you go over there?
I can't remember.
All right. Do you remember them taking your sister, the firemen coming out there and taking your sister in the ambulance?
Yes, so.
All right. Where did you go after that?
With my granny and pa Chuck.
Okay. And where did you go? Did you go to their house?
Yes, so.
Right. On the way to their house, did you talk with Pa Chuck about this?
No, so.
Okay. Did Pa Chuck end up taking you to the sheriff's office or to see the police that day?
Yes, so.
All right. And could you remember those details of that day better then than now?
No, so.
Okay. Did you talk to the police that day?
Yes, so.
Did they make a video of you?
Yes, so.
Did you tell them the truth that day?
Yes, so.
Did you tell them all the things that you could remember?
Yes, so.
All right. Now, when did this happen? Do you even know when this happened? Was it a long time ago?
Yes, so.
Right. When it happened that day, did you remember these things better then?
No, so.
Could you answer the police officers' questions that day?
Yes, so.
And did they ask you some of these questions that I'm asking you about what happened to your sister?
Yes, so.
All right. Were you truthful?
Yes, so.
Now, AJ,
Yes, so.
after this happened to your sister, what did your mama do?
I can't remember.
Were y'all supposed to go to town that day to get some supplies, some school supplies?
Yes, so.
Did you end up going that day to town to get school supplies?
No, so.
Where was Alan Michael when this happened?
He was in the house.
Okay. What was he doing? Do you know?
No, so
All right. When your sister drowned, what did your mother do? How did she find out that Adrianna had drowned?
I can't remember.
All right. Do you remember telling the police officers this?
Yes, so
All right. You remember one day I showed you a video of you talking to the police?
yes, so
Did you remember talking to them?
no, so
Okay. But when you saw that video, you did, didn't you?
yes, so
All right. In fact, do you recognize this picture that will be marked as State's Exhibit 16? Do you recognize that?
yes, so
Who is that boy in there?
me.
All right. Now, where was that taken? Do you know?
No, so
All right. Does that help refresh your memory? Does that help you remember? Does that help you remember what you showed the police officers as to how your sister died?
no, so
Was that a yes or a no?
no.
Okay. Is that you in there?
Yes, so
Okay. Is that what you showed the police?
yes, so
AJ?
yes, so
Are you getting tired of answering my questions?
yes, so
All right. I understand. I've just got a few more, okay?
okay,
When I get through, that other guy, he's going to ask you some questions of Mr. Walter, okay?
okay,
I want you to try to answer all of his questions for him, all right?
okay.
The day that this happened, AJ, did you see any Army men in a helicopter?
Yes, so
What were they doing?
nothing.
Okay. Were they in the sky or was it on the ground?
In the sky.
Could you hear Adrianna when this was happening to her?
Yes, so
When that was happening to her, you could hear her?
yes, so
What was she saying?
I can't remember.
All right. Who found Adrianna in the pool, if you remember?
I did.
What did you do? How did you find her in the pool? Will this picture help us to show what you did?
Yes, so
Okay. We're looking at 1C. How did you find her in the pool? Could you see in the pool, or did you have to get in something?
I had to get in my wagon.
Okay. When you saw her in the pool, what did you do?
I can't remember.
All right. Do you remember meeting a police officer named Mr. Mike that day, Mike Rayleigh?
Yes, so
All right. Did you tell him about this?
yes, so
And you could remember it then?
yes, so
All right. Is that the day that he made that video of you?
yes, so
All right. AJ, were you outside when the fire department came? When the people, the rescue workers came that day, were you outside?
no, so
Where were you?
inside
Why did you go inside?
because my mother told me to.
And what did you do when you went inside?
Nothing.
Okay. Did you see Alan Michael inside?
Yes, sir.
Did you say anything to Alan Michael inside?
Yes, sir.
Now, you showed us photographs, we've seen photographs of your bike. Where was Adrianna's bike that day? Do you know?
No, sir.
Okay. It's been a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
AJ,
So,
and you said your mama did this. Who is your mama?
Amanda Lewis.
Okay. Is she in this room today?
Yes, sir.
Where is she? Can you point her out and show the judge where she is?
Right here.
Okay. All right. Have you done your best to tell us the truth as best as you remember it?
So,
All right. Now, I'm going to get you back over here, and Mr. Walter's going to ask you some questions, okay?
okay.
All right, come back over here. AJ,
So,
I want you to try to answer his questions, just like you tried to answer my questions, all right?
all right.
Okay, speak up loud enough so he can hear you, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, you may inquire.
Thank you, Judge. Hello, AJ.
Hello.
Are you standing up or sitting in your chair right now?
Sitting down.
You're sitting down, okay. Are you inside a building or outside a building?
Inside.
Okay. And were you inside your trailer or outside your trailer when your sister drowned?
Outside.
Okay, and why were you outside?
Out. No.
You don't know? Well, let's talk about the Army men. Do you like to play Army men? Do you have toy guns? Okay, you have to say yes. See this lady here? She has to take down everything you say.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You like to play Army?
Yes, sir.
When you saw the soldiers did you see the soldiers in the helicopter?
No, sir.
Did you wave at them?
Yes, sir.
Could they wave back?
No, sir.
No or yes?
No.
No? Did they have guns and bombs on the helicopter?
Yes, sir.
Did they shoot their guns that day?
No, sir.
Did you shoot your gun that day?
No, sir.
Did you have a gun outside in the garbage can tree?
No, sir.
You did?
No, sir.
Did you tell anybody that you were in the garbage can tree shooting birds with your gun?
No, sir.
You didn't tell that to the policemen?
No, sir.
Did you tell that to do you remember talking to a nice lady in Panama City the same day that your sister drowned?
No, sir.
You don't remember that at all? You don't remember telling her that you were in the garbage can tree shooting birds?
No, sir.
Okay. Were you in the garbage can tree that day?
No, sir.
You were not. Okay. That day, did your sister go anywhere? Did Adrianna go someplace?
No, sir.
Did she go to the park that day?
Yes, sir.
She did go to the park. Why did she go to the park?
I don't know.
Did she go to play?
No.
No? How do you know she went to the park?
Because my mother told her to.
Your mother told her to go to the park. Why did she tell her that?
I don't know.
Were you allowed to go to the park by yourself?
No, sir.
No. But your mother told your sister to go to the park.
Yes, sir.
Did your sister leave and go to the park?
No, sir.
How long was she gone?
I don't know.
Was it sunny outside or was it dark outside when she went to the park?
Sunny.
It was sunny. How did she come home?
I can't remember.
Okay. Did she get drowned in the pool before she went to the park or after she went to the park?
After she went to the park.
Okay. Did she get drowned in the pool before she went to the park?
Yes, sir.
So she got drowned twice, didn't she? She got drowned before she went to the park and she got drowned when she came back from the park, right?
Yes, sir.
How many times did she get drowned?
Twice.
Twice. Did you ever tell anybody she got drowned 4 times?
No, sir.
You didn't tell anybody that? How did she get drowned?
I can't remember.
Well, was she inside the pool or outside the pool when she got drowned?
Outside.
She was outside the pool when she got drowned. But you found her, where did you find your sister at? Did you find her inside the pool or outside the pool?
Inside.
Inside the pool. So she got drowned outside the pool, and then you found her inside the pool, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you find her? How did you know where to look?
I don't know.
Did you hear her screaming inside the pool? Is that how you knew to look?
Yes, sir.
So you heard her screaming inside the pool.
Yes, sir.
How did she get inside the pool?
I don't know.
You think she stood up in that little red wagon?
Yes, sir.
You think she stood up in the red wagon and then she went into the pool from the red wagon?
Yes, sir.
And you think she started screaming when she went inside the pool?
Yes, sir.
Where was your mommy?
Beside the pool.
She was beside the pool when your sister got in the wagon and fell into the pool. Is that what you remember?
Yes, sir.
Did you say yes, sir, or no, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So you remember your mommy being outside when your sister went in the pool.
So,
Do you remember going to the house and talking to your mommy and saying, Adrianna is upside down in the pool?
no, sir.
You don't remember that?
No, sir.
Did you tell anybody the day that it happened?
Yes, sir.
Didn't you tell somebody
Yes, sir.
that you told your mommy that Adrianna was upside down in the pool? Do you
Yes,
remember
sir.
that? Okay. Was your mommy talking on the phone when you told her that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you remember running to the house and telling your mommy, Adrianna is upside down in the pool. You remember that, don't you? AJ,
Yes, sir.
you remember that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And your mommy was talking on the phone, wasn't she?
Yes, sir.
And what did she do when you told her, Adrianna's upside down in the pool? What did mommy do?
Come running outside.
She came running, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
And was Adrianna where you told your mommy she was?
Yes, sir.
And what did your mommy do?
I can't remember.
Did she get her out of the pool?
Yes, sir.
Was your mommy crying?
Yes, sir.
Was she throwing up?
No, sir.
You don't remember her throwing up?
No, sir.
You remember telling somebody she was throwing up?
No, sir.
You don't remember that?
Yes, sir.
Did your mommy ever get inside the pool?
No, sir.
Did she ever get inside the pool that day that you saw?
No, sir.
Did Adrianna ever try to scoop bugs out of that pool that day?
Yes, sir.
How was she going to scoop bugs out of the pool?
I can't be immobile.
Well, did she have a net?
Yes, sir.
She had a net?
No, sir.
No, okay. Do you have a net at the house that you use to clean the pool?
Yes, sir.
Where is the net at?
In the barn.
In the barn. Okay. Did Adrianna get something to help her scoop the bugs out of the pool?
No, sir.
No? How was she going to scoop the bugs up?
With her hands.
Just with her hands?
Yes, sir.
And would she have to stand in that red wagon in order to reach the bugs in the pool?
No, sir.
She would? How would she get the bugs out?
Get inside the pool.
She'd have to get inside the pool. How did she get in there?
The red wagon.
The red wagon, right. So she got in the red wagon to scoop out the bugs, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
And then she fell in the pool, didn't she? That's how she got in the pool, right?
No, sir.
How did she get in the pool?
She stepped over the side.
She stepped over the side. From the red wagon?
Yes, sir.
And then she started screaming, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
Adrianna can't swim, can she?
No, sir.
Is she afraid of the water?
Yes, sir.
Did you try to help her?
Yes, sir.
What did you do?
Hanged onto her legs.
You hung onto the ledge? Did you start yelling for help from the army men? Did you see the army men and start yelling for help?
No.
And could you get her out of the water?
No, sir.
Now, before Adrianna went in the pool, had you and Adrianna been playing together?
Yes, sir.
You had? Okay.
So,
What kind of games were you playing?
I don't know.
Did you ever hit Adrianna that day?
No, sir.
You remember telling the lady down in Panama City when they talked to you that day that you threw a white bucket at her? You remember throwing a white bucket at Adrianna?
No, sir.
You don't? You don't think you threw a white bucket at her that day? Okay. You know why you would tell somebody you threw a white bucket at her?
No, sir.
Okay. You wouldn't do that, would you? Okay. Who was it that decided to call the police that day? Was it you or was it your mom?
Hey, Mommy.
Mommy? Did you tell her that she had to call the police?
No, sir.
Okay, did you tell the lady in Panama City that you told your mother to call the police?
No, sir.
Did you tell the lady in Panama City that your mom dumped Adrianna because she was spraying some Windex, some cleaner inside the house?
No, sir.
You didn't tell her that either?
No, sir.
Did you tell her that your mommy told Adrianna, if you don't clean your room, Adrianna, I'm going to dump you?
No, sir.
You didn't tell them that either?
No, sir.
Okay. You were playing with a fire truck that day, though, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
Is that one of your favorite toys? It is? Can you tell me a story about that fire truck? When you hit yourself in the head with the fire truck? You remember that? That you hit yourself in the head with a fire truck and it was blood all over you. You remember that? But you weren't dead, were you? You had a big hole in your head, but you weren't dead, were you? And that was because that fire truck hit you in the head and made a big hole in your head, isn't it? And you told the lady down in Panama City about that story, didn't you? All right, AJ, thank you.
Mr. Baxter?
Just a few questions, Judge. AJ,
Yes, so.
did you ever get in the trees that day?
No, so.
Okay. Now, you said there were some trees on the side of the on the side of your house over there. You played in around those some that day?
Yes, so.
All right. Did your mom ever go anywhere in the car that day that you remember?
No, so.
Okay. You just don't remember?
Yes, so.
Okay. You told us before that Adrianna was cleaning some bugs out.
Yes, so.
Did Adrianna want to clean those bugs out of that pool?
Yes, so.
Why was she over there cleaning the bugs out that day?
I don't know.
Did she have an argument with your mom outside that day?
Yes, so.
All right. AJ, have you did your best today to tell us what you remember about this?
Yes, so.
Do you like talking about this?
No, so.
All right. But you remember talking about it to the police that day that it happened?
Yes, so.
And you told them everything that you remembered then?
Yes, so.
All right. Thank you very much, AJ. Do you have any questions?
3343 First Avenue South, Bonifay, Florida. I work at Slocum Marketplace.
Now, although you have a Bonifay address, do you live in the community of Esto, Florida?
That's correct.
Were you living in that same address back on August of last year, sir?
That's correct.
You work up there at the Slocum
Marketplace.
Marketplace, and what do you do there, sir?
I'm a meat cutter.
How long have you been employed there, Mr. Carmen?
Off and on 7 years.
What shift were you working back in August of last year?
It varies. That morning I went in at 6.
What do you, I'm sorry, I've never been there. Do you do the day shift or do they have an afternoon shift? You tell us, sir.
It just varies. I can work from 6 to 6, 9 to 6. That's it.
Did you have regular hours or did they vary from one day or week to the next?
It varies from one day to the next. I never go in at the same time.
Usually at 6 o'clock?
No, sir. It's one day a week.
The rest of the time it was what time, sir?
9 to 6, 10 to 6.
Okay.
It varied.
How long have you been living at that address?
Since 1990.
Amanda Lewis. Who is she, sir?
That would be my girlfriend.
When did she move in with you?
September 2005.
Where was she working back in August of last year, sir?
That would be Bonifay Nursing Home.
What was the shift that she was working?
That would be night shift.
11 to 7, third
Correct.
shift?
Correct.
I understand that, well, let me back up before I get to that. Who lived in your home back in August of last year?
That would be me, Amanda, her 2 kids, and my son.
3-bedroom mobile home?
That's correct.
What were the sleeping arrangements? Where did the two boys sleep together, or did Amanda's two children stay in one room? You tell us, sir.
My son had his room, and her two kids had the other room.
Her two kids, what were their names?
Adrianna and H.A.
So Adrianna had lived with you approximately 2 years as of August last year.
That's correct.
How would you describe her behavior, sir?
She was a normal kid, just like any other kid. You know, she got into stuff occasionally, acted up occasionally.
Did she have any behavioral problems?
Occasionally, yes, sir.
What about AJ?
They both had occasional problems, yes, sir.
Adrianna, the few days preceding her death on August the 8th of last year, was she in trouble quite a few times before then?
Not as I recall, not a couple of days before then, no, sir.
Have you ever stated that she was in trouble quite a few times the last few days before August the 8th of last year?
Not maybe the last few days.
You remember giving a statement to law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
On the evening of August the 8th?
That's correct.
Have you had a chance to look over that?
I have.
Have you got a copy of that with you today?
No, sir, not with me.
Made you a copy, what, last week before?
Yes.
You knew I was going to be asking you some questions about this today, didn't you?
That's correct.
Page 5, Counsel.
You need a second copy of that.
Have you got a second copy? Yeah, that would be helpful, please. You will provide that to Mr. Conlon? Thank you. Would you turn over to page 5, sir? Reading in the middle of the page to yourself. The question by Investigator Hamilton and then your response, does that refresh your memory, sir?
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay. Now the question is, did she get in trouble about quite a few things in the last few days? Did she?
Yes, sir, it does seem like I said that she did, yes.
Well, the question, what she got in trouble about and what was your response, sir?
The incident with the spray?
I'm talking about right in the middle of the page, sir.
Right.
When Hamilton asked you what she got in trouble about, what was your response? Would you read that, please?
I asked him, and said what the punishment or what the punishment was and what she got in trouble about.
Sir, I'm talking about page 5.
I've got page 5.
Okay. Right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Right where the hole is, right there.
Okay.
Question by Hamilton.
Okay, it says
What
that
she
was-
got in trouble about. What? And it says carnally. That's your response. Would you read that, please?
It says there was quite a few things in the last few days. I can't actually remember the exact.
Okay. So she got in trouble about quite a few things the last few days before her death.
Yes, sir.
Right. I mean, your memory was better then than it is today, right?
Right.
This was on August the 8th, the evening of August the 8th. Right, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. In fact, she had been acting out, the past few days, she had been acting out a lot, hadn't she, sir? I'm referring to the top of page 6.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
You said pretty much that day.
Pretty much.
So the bottom line is, the few days preceding her death, she had been in trouble a lot and she had been acting out a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the way you remember it, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. What had she been acting out about? What had she been in trouble about?
No, I was at work most of those days. I can't tell you everything.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what was told to me when I got home.
About spraying things in the house?
But that happened a couple of weeks before the death.
You weren't at home when she had any of these spraying incidences?
No, sir, but I was informed of it.
And you weren't at home the day of her death, were you, sir?
That's correct.
All right. So you don't know whether she was spraying anything or not, do you?
That's correct. I do not.
But she had got in trouble for spraying some air freshener in your house.
2 weeks prior to her death, yes.
What else had she been in trouble about?
Well, I mean, there was quite a few things.
What?
Like I said.
Share those with
Okay,
us, sir.
if you're talking about the light bulb incident,
What are you talking about there?
well, I took the light bulb out
Took the light bulb out of what?
of the room
Whose room, sir?
of AJ and Adrianna's.
Of their bedroom?
That's correct.
Why did you do that, Mr. Carnley?
Because they were hanging off the side of the bunk beds trying to turn the light off and on, so.
So you took the bulb out.
That's correct.
And then she got in trouble for trying to put a bulb back in there so she could turn the light on, didn't she?
That's correct.
And what type of punishment did she get because of that?
She got a weapon.
You did that?
Yes, sir.
Did she get in trouble for getting into her mother's makeup?
I don't recall that, sir.
Well, that night, when you were telling the officer that she'd been in trouble quite a bit in the last few days and she'd been acting out a lot, tell us what you meant by those statements.
They were just into things. I mean, but I don't recall the incident with the makeup. I was not told of that one.
What about writing on the walls? Did she get in trouble for that?
Yes, sir.
Where was she writing on the walls?
Bathroom, bedroom.
And when was that, sir?
Well, it was pretty much all the time. It was writing on the walls. And
So then earlier when you said she was just a normal child, are you still saying that? Or did she have some behavior problems and she was in trouble almost all the time?
I wouldn't say all the time, but, you know, just like any other normal youngin'.
Quite a bit in the last few days, to quote you.
That's correct.
What about for peeing in her pants? Did she get into trouble for peeing in her pants?
She was, you know, put in the bathroom and told to, you know, stay in there and sit on the toilet.
And the other forms of discipline that you and your girlfriend used, what were those, sir?
She would put them in her room, then we had a timeout bench they would sit in, you know, occasional whipping with a belt.
Sometimes would their toys be taken away from the two children?
That would be correct, yes, sir.
In fact, just a few days before Adrianna, this August the 8th, when she drowned in the pool, all of the children's toys had been taken away, hadn't they?
I wouldn't say it would be a few days before, no, sir.
When was it then, sir?
It was sometime during the summer, but not close to the time that her death.
Now, this was all the toys that their grandparents, Mr. Burns and Miss Burns, had given to them for Christmas, as well as any that you and or your girlfriend may have bought them, right?
Well, not all of them was thrown away, no, sir.
So they had just plenty of toys in their room back on August the 8th and 9th of
I
last
wouldn't
year.
say they had plenty, no, sir.
Most of the toys were taken away.
The ones that were trashed were thrown away. The ones that were any good was taken to my father's closet in Graceville.
Okay. Now, was Adrianna afraid of water?
No, sir, not that I recall.
How long did this little girl live with you?
2 years.
And it's your testimony this afternoon that Adrianna was not afraid of water?
That would be correct.
How long had you had this pool, sir?
About 6 weeks.
But you'd never seen Adrianna in that pool, had you?
That would be correct.
And you'd had that pool 6 weeks.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Now, you had been in that pool, hadn't you, sir?
Maybe twice.
And your girlfriend, she had been in that pool, right?
That's correct.
AJ, he had been in that pool.
That's correct.
But you, in that 6 weeks, if it was 6 weeks,
It was.
it was 6,
Pretty close, yes, sir.
you had never seen Adrianna, that little 7-year-old girl that lived with you in that home for 2 years in the pool, had you, sir?
Well, if you'll recall, I told you that my shift changed every day. I could have been going in early in the morning till late that afternoon, so no, sir, you're probably right. I didn't.
Well, do you work 7 days a week, Mr. Carnley?
Well, no, I don't, but
So on those days that you're off, is that the weekend, sir?
it varies. I can have a weekend day off, or I can be off during the week.
On your off days, did you ever see that little girl in that pool?
On my off days, no, sir.
In fact, you never saw her in your pool, did you?
I didn't see her in mine, but I seen her in the creek, my sister's pool, and I seen her also when we took them to the Pepsi trip up to Water World.
You did take Adrianna, AJ, and your girlfriend, Amanda Lewis, up to your sister's pool. That would be Penny Martin, right?
That would be correct.
And Penny just lives right up the road, doesn't she, sir?
About 6 miles.
And on at least one of those occasions, your daughter was there, Amber Carnley.
Subjects and leading questions.
I'll rephrase it. Was your daughter Amber Carnley there on at least one of those occasions?
I do believe you're right, yes, I think so.
Let's go back to August the 8th of last year. And even go back a little bit further. The evening of August the 7th. Did your girlfriend go into work that evening?
Yes, sir, she did.
I believe you went to some meeting there at the Volunteer Fire Department, didn't you?
That's correct.
That would have been with Chief Corcoran and Jose Martinez and Gary Jacobs?
Objection to the leading question, that is testifying, he's not asking the witnesses.
I'm sorry, I'll rephrase it, Judge. Who was there at that meeting?
Other fire members, and we was at a class over in New Hope.
When you got back, did you have any contact with Adrianna or AJ?
I seen Adrianna that night.
Where did you see her?
She was in her bedroom.
What was she doing?
They were sitting on the side of the bed.
When you say they, who?
Well, AJ was in there at the time.
Now, is this the bedroom that didn't have a light in it?
That's correct.
Did you notice any bruises on her forehead at that time?
No, sir, I did not.
If she would have had a bruise, would you have seen it?
I believe I would. And not only that, but the next morning when I left, I seen Adrianna.
Okay. That's what I'm getting at. The next morning, when you woke up to go to work, what time was that?
I got up about 5 and left about 5:30.
Before you left, did you have any contact with Adrianna Hutto?
I seen Adrianna that morning, yes.
Where was she?
She was still in her bedroom.
What was she doing?
She was sitting up in her bed.
Just like she was sitting on that bed
Well, not
when you came
exactly
in
the
that
same,
night?
but she was in her bed.
Sitting on the bed?
Sitting in the bed, yes, sir.
Was she in the same position?
No.
Light off?
Yeah, but what you don't understand, there's a hall light not even 2 foot away that we leave on so they can see how to get to the bathroom.
What was she doing?
She was just sitting there.
Did you say anything to her?
I believe she spoke to me.
Did you say anything to her?
I can't recall me saying nothing to her, but I remember her speaking to me.
Have you ever given a statement where you indicated that you asked her how she was and she didn't respond?
No, sir, I don't remember that.
Okay. So then about what time was this that you saw her, sir?
Well, I was leaving about 5:30.
So around 5:30, you walk past her bedroom, you see her in there, she speaks to you, you don't speak to her, and then you do what, sir?
I tell my son I'm leaving.
How do you do that?
I wake him up and tell him I'm leaving.
Is there some reason that you didn't speak to Adrianna that morning?
Well, I mean, I didn't ask her what she was up to or what she was doing. I might have, just thrown my hand up at her. I can't recall what I actually done, but she spoke to me. Yes, sir.
Now, your son, does he have a light in his bedroom?
That's correct.
What time did you leave that morning?
It was around 5:30.
What time did you get to work?
I usually get there a little early. It's probably about 10 to 6.
What time was your shift that day?
That would have been 6 to 4.
Did you leave work to come home that day at lunchtime?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you get a call from your girlfriend after lunch that day? A
Yes, sir, I
telephone
did.
call. Where were you when you received that call?
I was back in my apartment at work.
Do you know about what time this call came in?
It was about 2:20.
What was the nature of the call?
Like normal, we joked around with each other for a few minutes. It had been the first time I talked to her that day. She joked around with me. We talked.
What did you talk about?
She asked me how I was doing, how work was going, and I asked her how hers was that night. And then she told me what they were planning on doing that day.
And what was that, sir?
She was getting them ready to go school shopping.
Did you ask her what the children were doing, or did she tell you what the children were doing?
No, sir, that never came up.
Are you sure about that, Mr. Clement?
I never asked her what the kids were doing. No, sir, I did not.
If I could have just a moment, Judge. Would you look over on page 4, please?
Okay.
About the 4th paragraph, would you read that, sir, and see if that refreshes your memory? Just read it to yourself and let us know if that refreshes your memory.
I don't see here where it said I asked her what they were doing. I see where she told me what they were doing.
Okay. So did she tell you that the children were playing outside, sir?
They
That
had
day?
been, yes, sir.
And where were they?
Out in the front yard.
Playing with trucks in the driveway.
That's correct.
All right. Now, at some point during that conversation, that telephone conversation, did your girlfriend go back into the bathroom, sir?
Not during the conversation with me, no, sir.
Well, you tell us what you recall of that telephone conversation with your
What you're
girlfriend.
getting out of this right here is not what me and Amanda talked about. This is actually a different thing when I asked her once I got home.
Okay. Well, this is what I want you to tell us, sir. What do you recall about that telephone conversation that started somewhere around 2:20, 2:30? The records will will tell us what time.
That's correct.
Just tell us what you recall, Mr. Conley.
When she called me, like I said, we joked around, kidded around a little bit. She asked me how my day was. I asked her about hers. During the conversation while we was on the phone, AJ comes in. And she's on the phone. I can't understand what he tells her. Next thing I know, she goes outside. Takes the phone with her. You can tell when she goes down my steps.
All right. So you were talking to your girlfriend inside the trailer. You heard AJ come inside.
Correct.
Something was said. You don't know what was said.
No, sir.
Okay. You don't even know if anything was said. Is that right?
No, I heard him mumbling. I just couldn't understand.
He mumbled something, and then you hear her going outside.
That's correct.
Then what do you remember happening, sir?
I can tell that once she rounds the corner, her pace picks up. The phone's vibrating in her hand.
Okay.
And
Then what's the next thing you hear, Mr. Conley?
I hear when Adrianna's been found.
Okay. Now, let's stop right there before we go any further. Did you hear your girlfriend, Amanda Lewis, holler anything at AJ while she was on the phone with you?
I don't recall that. No, sir, I don't. The only thing I remember hearing is her telling me that Adrianna was in there.
Did you hear her say anything, holler, scream?
She screamed.
AJ, what are you doing out there around the pool?
You mean once the little girl was found?
No, sir, I'm talking about, you were talking on the telephone with her, you hear the door open and AJ come inside, he says something, then she runs outside. Before she runs outside, did you hear your girlfriend hollering anything to AJ? AJ, what are you doing around that pool?
No, sir.
You would have remembered that if she'd have said something, if she had been hollering like that to AJ, wouldn't you, sir?
I believe so.
Who's on the phone to you? Do you recall her going outside to, now I'm talking about before you've heard her talking on the phone and AJ comes in and tells her something and then she runs out, sir. Before that, was she talking on the phone and then went outside of the trailer of your home to talk to AJ outside?
Not during the conversation with me and her, no, sir.
The only time she went outside during that conversation is when she went outside and was running over there to the pool. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's all I recall.
Mr. Conley, did AJ or Adrianna ever clean out the bugs of the pool, sir?
Not to my knowledge, no, sir. But I'm not sure what might have been told to do that day. I don't know.
Well, it would have been very unusual for Adrianna to do that, wouldn't it, sir?
Like I say, the way my shift work is, I'm not there every day. I do not know, sir.
Would you agree it would have been very unusual for Adrianna to play around that pool?
Well, no, sir. I've seen her play in the pool with the pan, the little foot pan I told you about.
You've seen Adrianna play in the pool with that pan?
While me and Amanda was in it, yes, sir.
But you and her mother were right there.
Well, that's correct, yes, sir.
Didn't you establish some rules when y'all got that pool, some ground rules for the children?
Just not be around the pool, when...
Not be around the pool unless you or their mother was there, right?
That's correct.
So she would have gotten in trouble if she'd have been around that pool by herself, right?
Most likely, yes, sir.
She'd have been grounded, right?
Possible, yes, sir.
Or whipped. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Or sent a timeout in her room.
That's correct.
If you had have heard that Adrianna was playing around that pool, would that have concerned you, sir?
Probably, yes, sir.
Because she couldn't swim, could she?
I wouldn't say she couldn't swim.
Excuse me?
I wouldn't say she couldn't swim.
Why is that?
Amanda was teaching her how to swim.
So would you have been concerned if you had been at home and AJ or Alan Michael had have told you, Adrianna's out there playing around the pool? Would that have concerned you, sir, for her safety? Would you have been concerned about her safety?
If I knew she was trying to get in the pool, probably so, yes, sir.
Even playing around that swimming pool?
Well, if she was just out in the yard playing around it, no, I wouldn't really have no.
Now, that 6 weeks that you had that swimming pool, Mr. Carnley, did little Adrianna ever come up to you and ask you to go swimming in that pool with her?
Not that I recall.
In fact, did she ever even ask for permission to go swimming in that pool?
Not to me, no, sir.
Did she ever ask her mother in your presence?
Well, like I tell you, the way my work schedule is, you know, they swim during the day. I wasn't there most of the time during the day. I do not know what would have been said.
And you don't even know today, sir, whether or not she had ever even been in that pool swimming, do you?
I knew she'd been in there with Amanda and them, yes, sir.
How do you know that?
Well, Amanda told me, and also there was a time when she had some relatives over where Adrianna got in.
Did Amanda ever bust up a TV in her room, sir?
Object, what's that got to do with this?
And I'm not sure that I see the relevance either. So the objections.
I'll rephrase it. Did she ever get into trouble for busting up a room of TV?
Amanda? You said Amanda.
Excuse me, not Amanda. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired. Did Adrianna ever get into trouble for busting up a TV in her room?
No, sir, not as I know of.
To your knowledge, did she ever bust a TV up in her room in your house?
There's a TV in my closet, and like I told you the other day, there's a reason it's in that closet or it wouldn't be there. Now, what that reason may be, I don't know. Her mother would know.
But my question is to you, do you know if she ever busted up a TV in her bedroom?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't checked the TV to see what it's up there for.
Well, surely if she'd have busted up the TV, like hitting it or broke it or something like that, you would have talked about that with your girlfriend, wouldn't you, sir?
I'm sure, you know, yeah, if Amanda would have told me, I'm sure I would have remembered.
I have just a few more questions, Mr. Carnley. Now, you were referring into this statement that some of the things in this statement is what you heard over the telephone, and some of the things in this statement is what your girlfriend told you at a later date or told you that afternoon when you got to talk to her?
Same day, yes, sir.
Okay. What are you referring to that she told you about that afternoon?
Well, I didn't know, you know, about the AJ and them playing in the yard, her Amanda, you keep bringing up about her going to the bathroom. I know nothing about that during mine and her phone conversation.
But that's what she told you that day?
That afternoon when I got home and the incident was already occurring, yes, sir.
Okay.
I asked her, could she tell me what happened? With Dennis Lee and Mr. Corcoran standing there, she went to telling me.
What did she tell you about going into the bathroom, sir?
She just told me she had made a trip to the bathroom, and when she went to the bathroom, she seen them outside in the driveway playing.
Are you referring to that over on page 4, sir? Because it looks like some of that is what she apparently told you and what you heard, and I'd like for you to tell us what the difference is.
I've heard nothing about her going to the bathroom over the conversation on the phone. This was what I was telling them that she told me after I made it home when I asked her to tell me what happened.
All right. This is my question, sir. Right there in the middle of the page, when you said she went back to the bathroom, she said that they were there, you know, playing there, and then she went back to the bathroom, and when AJ come back in, you know, she asked where Adrianna was at. But like I say, I didn't hear him tell her where Adrianna was at, not on the phone. I just heard Amanda go out the door. So what part of that did she tell you, and what part did you hear over the phone?
Okay, the part where it said that her went to the bathroom is where she told me, you know, after I got home. But then the other part there where I said that, you know, that AJ didn't tell her where Adrianna was at, that was what actually occurred over the phone.
Sometimes would Adrianna be, as a point of discipline, would she be restricted or grounded to her room, sir?
That would be correct.
And Adrianna didn't like the way that room smelled, did she?
Well, none of us did.
I mean, it reeked of urine, didn't it, sir?
That's correct.
AJ, where was he that morning when you went to work?
He was on a little hammock in the living room.
In the living room?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
like a little camper bed?
Sort of like, yes, sir.
He liked to sleep in there.
No, that was his only time, first time and only time.
Okay, but, I mean, he liked to sleep in the living room as opposed to...
No, sir. No, that was his first and only time that I recall him sleeping in the living room, and it was because Amanda got the little hammock, and that's what he wanted to sleep on.
Okay.
Mr. Conley, you spoke of an incident where some aerosol spray was sprayed in the house. Is this what was being sprayed in the house?
No, sir.
What was it that was being sprayed in the house?
It was an aerosol air freshener type spray.
All right. And when did that happen?
It was like 2 weeks prior.
2 weeks prior.
Yes, sir.
Can you recall of any other incident, other
spraying?
than that incident, where somebody got in trouble for spraying something in the house?
No, sir, I cannot.
Okay. And when you describe it as an aerosol spray, was it bug spray, or what exactly was it that was
Just
sprayed?
an air freshener. I had bought some at work.
Okay,
Brought it home.
something you brought home from work?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. And what was the punishment? Who got punished, and what was the punishment for
I
spraying?
believe they both got punished and got sent to their room.
So it just wasn't Adrianna. It was both she and AJ.
That's correct.
And they got sent to the room.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Let's talk about times that you mentioned where Adrianna went swimming in is it your sister's pool?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Were you there personally?
Yes, sir, I was.
Were you swimming in the pool, or were you just sitting there watching them?
No, I was in the pool with them.
What kind of pool does your sister have?
It's bigger than mine, over ground.
Is it above ground?
Yes, sir, it's above ground.
And how do you get into that pool? You have to climb in on a ladder or what?
Ladder, yes, sir.
Is it the same depth as your pool, or deeper or shallower?
Actually, it's deeper than mine.
It's deep?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did Adrianna actually get in the water there?
Yes, sir, she did.
Was Amanda trying to teach her how to swim during
Yes,
those
sir,
times?
that's correct, one of the times, yes, sir.
Was she successful in teaching her how to swim?
She was catching on, yes, sir.
She was beginning to learn?
Learn how to paddle, yes, sir. Keep her, up above the water, keep her balance, yes, sir.
Okay. About how many times did you see of your own accord Adrianna in your sister's swimming pool?
There was about 3 occasions.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a foot pan, and I don't think everybody understands what you were referring to. Could you elaborate on what you meant about a foot pan?
It's just a little plastic pan that we would wash our feet off in when we'd go to get up on the ladder. That's it.
All right. So would it be outside the swimming pool?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you got home that day on August 8th, where was that plastic pan at?
It was floating in the pool.
It was in the pool.
Yes, sir.
The last time you saw that pan, where was it?
It was turned upside down by the pump.
On the outside?
On the
of pool.
outside, yes, sir.
Okay. And the ladder that goes to that pool, where was it on August 8th?
We kept the ladder locked in my shed.
Okay. Do you also have a net or something to scoop leaves and bugs out of the pool?
Yes, I had 2 of them.
Okay. And is that something that is just normal pool maintenance? You would go out there with a net and scoop the leaves and the grass and everything out of the pool?
Yes, sir.
So how often would that be done?
About every couple of days or so, I'd go out there and check it.
Okay.
Maintenance
So
it
you
up.
primarily were the one that would go out and scoop the leaves and the debris out of the pool?
Yes, sir.
And then what would you do with the net?
It stayed in the shed,
Okay.
locked with the ladders.
It would be locked back up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I have at this time.
Just a few questions. The idea was the ladder locked up in the shed, sir.
We both agreed on that.
And it was locked. Who had the key to that shed?
Well, the key was at the house.
When you were over there at your sister's school, that would be Penny Martin. When you were over there, was any dunking going on over there?
Not between me and or any of her kids. No, my little boy was in there, and we did occasionally. Yes, sir.
Did you ever see your girlfriend dunk AJ or Adrianna?
No, sir.
Did you have a cover to the pool?
I did.
But when did you take the cover off? How come the cover wasn't on that day, sir?
Well, I was putting the chemical in it. It was just a regular old rubber cover. I put the chemical in it one time before, and it started eating the oil off of the cover, and it was getting in the water. You could tell the oil residue was coming off the cover. So a few days before the incident, when I put the chlorine and the tablets in, I left the cover off.
And did I understand you to say that Adrianna, little Adrianna, was now almost about to be able to swim, sir?
I said she was doing good at it. I didn't say that she was able to go by herself.
Where did you see her doing good at it?
That would be at my sister's house.
But in the 6 weeks that you had had your pool, you had never seen her in your pool, had you, sir?
No, sir, and that's still the statement because most of the time I work. And when I was off and Amanda was there, that's when they did her swimming.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Smith?
Just to clarify, you said there had been a cover on that pool for the whole 6 weeks that you had.
We would put on, yes, sir, just about every time it wasn't in use, yes, sir.
The only time it would be off is when somebody was in the pool.
That's correct.
But about 3 days before this incident, you took the cover off and you put chemicals in the pool and you didn't put the cover back on.
That's correct, yes, sir.
So throughout the whole time you had this pool, there was only 3 days when that cover was off.
Pretty much, yes, sir. Most of the time we kept the cover on there until the chemicals. That's correct.
Thank you.
Mr. Cornley, you may step down at this time.
Judge, I'm going to be calling him during my case in chief, so
Okay, you're still under your subpoena.